Welcome to my episode here. Welcome to my episode here, reviewing MTV Stream, the finale. Just make sure I have this kind of right. I was part of, if you're wondering what this shirt is, Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure. Um, my grandma's a survivor. I was part of their annual race here in Wisconsin that they have. I'm sure that they have it, nationwide in locations, but the one here for Wisconsin or northern Wisconsin was this past Saturday, or this past Sunday actually, a couple of days ago. So I was able to partake that for my grandmother. Like I said, she is a breast cancer survivor. It's 26 years now, her being cancer free. So thank God all the time that she's still alive and doing well. Also here in the start, I actually wanted to give a shout out to Fright Flicks here on YouTube. He'll be doing his reaction to the killer reveal. He'll also be doing his killer congratulations tomorrow. So I just want to give him a shout out. I was trying to reach out to him to see if he would be able to join, but he was busy. He has his own thing to do for his channel, just as much as I was doing for mine here, of course. So I appreciate him actually responding and let me know that he was unable to do that because then I didn't have to bother him so much because I didn't want to. I'm not that kind of person. I don't like bothering people so much, but I just like to at least get an answer from someone at some point. And sometimes I push too much. And in that vein, I did want to apologize um, here live on air and to the world, so to speak. But I want to apologize to Kelly. At Kelly underscore TV on Twitter. If you want to follow her on Twitter, that's at KELLIE underscore TV. Again, that is KELLIE underscore TV on Twitter. Um, but I was trying to get her as well, just as Julie DAGG on Twitter, but was unable to get anybody to be a guest on the show along with my co-host Jay, who might be running a little bit late, but just like anybody else and everybody else being busy. Um, I mean, he has a podcast that I'm part of to prepare for tomorrow, along with other things. So definitely, I know he will be able to join at some point. He just has to um, be able to come on, I guess, to come on the show. But I did want to apologize to Kelly. She did her live streaming, watching the finale with her fandom, and I do hope that she does reach out to me, whether on Twitter at army underscore strong underscore 06, or on Instagram at podcast host 316. Either way, hopefully she does understand that it was a misunderstanding. I was in the wrong. I'm not saying I was in the right. I did ask too much about if she wanted to be part of the show and stuff like that because I was waiting for an answer either way. So I knew how to prepare my evening. Um, but that still doesn't make it right for me to ask her so often. So again, I do want to apologize if any fans of hers are watching this at all. Let her know again at Kelly KELLIE underscore TV, or send her a message on YouTube or on Instagram or however you reach out to her. Maybe she follows you back. Send her DM on Twitter. Let her know that that me from this channel, Steve, wanted to send my apologies and hope this misunderstanding. Because for a little bit she did subscribe to the channel, and that was gracious of her. All Girls Meet Film did subscribe to the channel as well, and I will be doing more Girl Meets World videos in the future. Now that I'm done with Scream for a little bit, hopefully there's a season 3. We'll talk about this, and I'm kind of stalling for time, waiting for Jay to be able to be on the show. So usually people don't say that on air, but you know me, guys. I'm always honest with you, 100%, whether I should be or not. That's just a truthful, kind guy, romantic jabroni I am. Even though that has nothing to do with romance, but whatever. It's just being honest. Integrity, intelligence. That's two of the three eyes that I definitely have. And if you know what I'm talking about, three eyes from Kurt Angle. Um, this episode, obviously being the finale, was super duper awesome. Thank goodness Brooke survived. I was worried she would be killed there in that scene. Like I said, I don't want to go into it too much until Jay's able to join me here. What else I'm super duper happy about um, is that I was right. I was right. Everybody in the camp, Kelly, Again, on Twitter at Kelly KELLIE underscore TV on Twitter. You can send her tweets not just about me, my apologizing, but her being correct. She also predicted Kieran being the killer. It was obvious from day one, at least to me, and maybe to her, and to Fred Flicks, um, his awesome self. Uh, he was predicting Kieran for a long time, and going on that train, I believe, I have been watching his YouTube videos from the end of last season to the start of this season, and I was part of his um, killer picks. I was gonna go with Kieran by himself, but I went with Kieran and Eli. But I was, I guess, technically wrong, but we'll see how everybody does there. And hopefully, I mean, I'm just happy I was right. I'm just happy that it was in the end Kieran all by himself. I had a feeling it was just gonna be Kieran and nobody else. I should have made that prediction when I had the chance, but yeah, it's just is what it is. But like I said, I'm just waiting for my co-host again. To Kelly, I did want to apologize for sending you so many tweets and seeing if you wanted to come on here. But I should have known you're busy with your own stuff and your own channel and your millions and millions, or at least right now, thousands of fans. But in time, it'll be millions because your channel and the way you do your videos and reviews and live chats and everything, spot on. Not just in the content, but on the way you do it, the production value and everything. Whether to you it doesn't seem like a lot, to me as a viewer, spot on. To me who wants to aspire to be like that, to have better equipment, to have better quality of video. I mean, I think the content is okay, but the quality, um, I see big things in your future for your channel, and maybe that's why I was messaging so or tweeting you so much because I was hoping to be able to collaborate with you and pick your brain because you're a very smart woman and you obviously know what you're doing. But again, I just did want to apologize, and I was in the wrong, and hopefully we can communicate later on that subject. Again, to everybody, welcome to follow me on Twitter at army underscore strong underscore 06. And also welcome to follow me at WWE underscore podcast. I have my WWE podcast. I will be live tweeting under that Twitter handle on Sunday uh, for WWE SummerSlam. So just just wanted to share those things too. But like I said, I am waiting a little bit here to talk about the episode until my co-host, the other man of the hour here, is able to join me. I believe he had somebody else on his number one as the number one suspect on his murder board, so to speak, um, which is fine. I think it was Emma's mother he had Emma's mother to be his number one suspect, and he rode that train just like I rode the Kieran train. I'm sure it got old to him after a couple weeks. I keep going number one pick Kieran, number one pick Kieran. I mean, obviously I was gonna stick to it, so he understood that part. But hearing it every week, Kieran, 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 Kieran. I mean, geez. But hey, I stuck with it, and in the end, I like many others. So if you as well pick Kieran, give this video a thumbs up. That'd be greatly appreciated. Or give the video a thumbs up in support of my podcast. If there really is going to be a season three, because that cliffhanger, that ending for this season, even though when it was revealed that it was just Kieran to be the killer, before we got that final scene, I was like, oh shoot, as Noah was doing his monologue at the end and everything, and recapping things. What was it, a couple months later or whatever, of Lakewood and the Lakewood Five, and I got all sad because of Noah's girlfriend and Karen being the killer, which means then Emma's original boyfriend, which now again I forgot, Will, you know, dying in the first season, and then Eli, who could have been her future boyfriend, moving on in the future seasons to come, gets killed here in the end of this season. It's crazy. But with the final scene, we could get a season three, and that'd be totally awesome. It would be rock to have that and see where it goes. Now, will it keep being like how things are going? The same cast, different story, different killer. Does this mean one of the James brothers has been alive, or just thinking of it this way, it might not even be a James brother, and maybe it might not even. Let me think here. I'm gonna have to wait and see and hear Jay's thoughts on this too. But maybe it could be not just that there's a tag team partner to Kieran, an assistant, an associate, but the person that was calling talking about who told you that you could wear my mask and do his voice and everything, this other stuff. Maybe was the main person and Kieran was the associate because he was Piper's assistant. So being Piper's assistant didn't mean he was the number one person. And here in this season, maybe he was the assistant or the associate or then to whoever was this main person that we'll find out here in season three. But hopefully, like I said, with the final scene means that we will get to a season three for MTV Scream. This, of course, will be my last podcast video and episode talking about MTV Scream for this season, of course, being the season finale. It's kind of how that works. But in the meantime, I have my other podcasts that I host to be my cornerstones of this channel. My Talking Packers with Steve finally makes its season debut for the 2016 NFL season next week, either Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know which day, but either way, you're welcome to follow me on Twitter at talking_Packers, and I will let you know there for sure. And I will have my first live episode for the season. I will be going over each and every week or each and every team. There's my predictions for their records and everything, and the playoffs and yada yada. And we'll go from there. I'm really excited because I'm always excited for the NFL season. I do maximum of fantasy football leagues on ESPN. I think there's 8 maximum, and then I do 2 on ESPN site. So I guess I can just talk a little bit about the episode as I wait for Jay and get my thoughts on everything. Um, Again, I'm very happy that in the end I was right, and many others were right. That it was Kieran, but I just hope that we do get to season three. I really think to the episode how it went, and we slowly got to the scenes and got to the ending and the reveal. It was awesome, and I was so excited as this day was going on. It was getting closer and closer to this finale to be live on MTV, and thinking, come on now, how this goes, and hopefully this, we talk about if there's gonna be a new season, the ratings. Hopefully we get a good amount of ratings. People watching this episode and look way at getting that season three because there's more of a story to tell, especially with what happened there in the final scenes there. But you know who I always thought that could be a suspect, and I could have thought maybe could have been revealed here tonight. That might be revealed in season three to be the main person. Talk about when he told Kieran in the killer voice that who told you could wear my mask, and Kieran looking all scared and everything, him knowing who it was. I don't think it's a James person or Troy or anything, any of the James family. I think it could be Emma's father. One thing I talked about, or at least I think I did, or maybe I thought it and didn't say it live on air, but Emma's father being a suspect and being someone that looks shady and someone that could have done the murders in the 90s and been the one to frame Brandon James and make it look bad because Brandon was close with his girlfriend, or who turned out to be his wife and now ex-wife and everything. But you know what I mean, with Maggie and everything, his girl, Brandon at the time, and how that might have pissed him off, and then he went on a killing spree, and then he framed him because Brandon James looked like a monster. Everybody would think he's the one who did it. No one would be the wiser or care or want to look more at the evidence. But I don't know, But either way, this was a good episode, and I just really, really look forward to there is a season three. That will be sorry about that. Will be awesome if that is the case. I want to check here. I'm just looking here on my. I was looking. I was looking through my list of my killer theories or killer thoughts for the last couple of episodes and everything, and not only with Kieran being number one, but my other ones, 2, 3, and 4. So just want to make sure that all everything and the people that were also on my list. I had Brooke there. Could have been a suspect. Could she still be it? I don't know. I mean, with everything she's gone through, you think she could be a killer for the next season. I really look forward to it. But as great as it is to have this core part of the cast and keep going, at some point, those characters are going to be killed off. Because either one of them are going to be the killer, or they're going to be killed off, and the number one person being Emma. But now what's see what I'm trying to wrap my head around is what connects Emma now to this new killer for the next season, right? How? Because she's always the intention of the killer. She's the reason why. For Kieran, it's just almost the same way as the other killer thought. They're in season one, the same reasons. I mean, you would think that it'd be a little bit different there. And from watching Kelly's live stream for a little bit, and again, I did want to apologize to her. People are welcome to follow her on Twitter at Kelly underscore TV. But she was talking about how she's thinking with the killers and how that was going, that maybe with the next season that things will be awesome there. So we'll see. I mean, I really am looking forward to it. But what I'm also looking forward to is Jay being able to join me today or tonight. I know, like I said, he's busy. Other people were busy. Right now, it's a one-man band, like Heath Slater in the WWE. That awesome dude. But anyways, that one-man band. But I'm a one-man band here in this podcast, just like I am for any of my others. So while I'm waiting for him, I'll promote one more time. Talking Packers with Steve, Steve's Wrestling Ramble. I'm looking for a co-host. So if anyone's interested, let me know. Whether messaging me here on YouTube, comment section below. I know I'm talking about a lot of other things on an MTV Scream review, but hey, this, if I want to be 100% honest, this video you can check on my channel. It's not like I can hide it. It's there in plain sight. It's the internet. You'll find out. You can see on my channel that those videos or these videos on my MTV Screen Reviews, which now I have finally, you know, got smart and put them in a playlist form. But if you just see them individually from the uploads portion of the channel, that those are the ones that are getting the most views. Now I have 71 subscribers, and I greatly appreciate that. Hopefully that can slowly grow. But 71 subscribers, and usually for these MTV Screen Reviews, I would say, and without doing the math, because I've always been good at math, trying to do this in my head now. We had the episodes from season one to season two. I would say at an average of 70 views per video. On a whole average, I mean, one of them had like 126. The lowest had like 23, if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe it could be lower, higher. I don't know what the extremes or the extremities were for the viewership. I think it was 124, 62, something like that, or 28 and 124, something like that. Either way, but for me, I've pretty much talked everything about this episode. Like I said, it'll be very interesting to see if there is a third season. I'm really hoping that there is, and it was a great finale. The way how everything went down and the way the regular was revealed and everything. How you doing, Jay?
Steve, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Hey, if you can do me a favor, can you mute your laptop?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
It is muted, so can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you. I could just hear my broadcast in the background.
Well, let me hang up and call back in.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I was hearing myself either in an echo of my own or the echo of him watching and then waiting to come in, which is fine. I mean, I would do the same if I was waiting to go on his show and I was a little late watching a little bit and then trying to go in. So, but either way, glad that he is finally able to make it. Like I said, I've pretty much talked everything that I needed to say for the episode, in my opinions, there. And great episode. I was right, just like many others. And Kieran, He was the obvious choice, and the obvious choice was the correct one. I know how a lot of people were going to Eli. I'm thinking, oh, it was Eli, but I gotta say, Flightflix, also, another shout out to him, and hopefully I'm remembering that correctly. Fright Flicks here on YouTube. And again, check him out. Tomorrow he'll be doing his killer congratulations. I'm sure later tonight he'll be posting his live reaction to the killer reveal, and then he might also be doing a review tomorrow of the episode in itself and talking if there's a season 3 and all that other stuff. So definitely check it out here on his channel, Fright Flicks, on YouTube. But he was saying about Eli and him explaining that a couple episodes ago on his own podcast, Killer Theories, that to him Eli was just he was a good guy. He might have been a creeper, weirdo, or whatever, but in the end he was a good guy at heart, and he was trying. And his the reason he was in Lakewood the first time and here again now was to keep an eye on Kira. And in the end, that was right. That was the synopsis of Eli and why Eli was at Will's funeral last season and why this and why that. So I definitely want to give a shout out to Fright Flicks for sure, not just in general, but for that thought. And definitely check out that video on his channel. It should be um, Final Killer Theories episode when he was talking a little bit about, well, not even a little, but about episode 10, The Vanishing, and then, but that one was also then where he, you know, gave everybody the chance to give their final theories of who they think the killer is for the show. And that's where he brought it up about Eli when he gave his reason about how his picks being Kieran accomplished. Hey Jay, how you doing?
Oh, I still hear the echo on your end.
Yeah. Okay, I don't hear it anymore. Well, now I do. Never mind. Anyway, we'll go through it. Um, I guess I said everything I need to say about the episode. What were your thoughts or individually for this finale? Jay, you still there? I think you lost Jay. Unless he muted himself or something. I don't know what happened there. That was kind of weird. I didn't hear my echo anymore, but that was kind of weird. He was there, not there. Ooh, it's interesting. But like I said, when he's able to come back on, we'll get his thoughts on the episode, his thoughts on the reveal. Did he think it was too obvious for Kieran? His thoughts on the final scene, everything and all that in between when he is able to jump back on. But yeah, we'll see if there is going to be a season 3. Hopefully there is. I think I said I think there will be. And then when that will be, whenever that is, I'll make sure to do my first episode for the podcast around that time and for the next season and do it the same way here this way with the way I do my episodes every week. And then already from the start, top 5, who do you think? Already after one episode of the new season, but in the end we're really just continuing on from the first season to the second season now to the third season if there is one. um it is a continuation truly because obviously you have the same cast, same storylines progressing. You can still, at least for the first 2 episodes, if first two full first handful really of episodes in the next season, and give your predictions of who you think the killer is from even from late season 2 being part of your reasoning for whoever you pick. Because like I said, if you're when you're early in the season, there might not be so much to go off from the premiere of the season, like the first episode, that you have to draw from the past. But it shouldn't be as difficult because then when you get later on, like we did here in season 2, we draw from his own season and figure out or think who we think is the killer. Hopefully Jay is able to be. You there, Jay?
Can you hear me, Steve?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. I still got the computer muted.
Okay, no, that's fine. Um, yeah, I pretty much said everything I needed to say about the episode. I just want to get your thoughts on pretty much the whole thing.
Oh yeah, no. Okay, so first of all, did Brooke make it okay, or is she gone too?
No, she survived.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Wow, I don't know where even to begin. I thought it started off pretty, with Audrey and Emma kind of just escaping the police and car and handcuffs and um not telling the cops or not getting caught. So it started off pretty slow, but interesting. I thought, towards the middle where they, all met in some factory or some building where they were in, to see who actually it is. Um, as we seen in the trailers last week, that's the part we were excited for. I thought, they didn't really use that scene as much. It was more like of a, last season where, a lot of scenes happened in the movie theater. The movie theater is what they were at. There you go. Always the movie theater, Steve. I don't know why. I think in the beginning of the season, the first episode with RG working there, just I don't know why you like that doggone movie theater spot. Anyway, well, when then with Brooks, yeah, it's not. I think it's what is his name? Ethan, right? The one who's outside of the theater who wanted to in, or is
Oh, that was Stavros.
yeah, him. Ethan is the other guy. That seems a little suspicious. I thought he wasn't the killer, so I'm like, let him in, but they didn't. Um, getting to the who it actually was though, Steve, is you were right. You you mentioned his name. I mentioned his name once before. I don't know how high he was on your list though, Steve. Um, but Karen, I mean, can you this time it was almost like in our face, but not really. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it was just like unpredictable. Like, oh, that's his girlfriend. I mean, that's Emma's boyfriend. So why would he? And it seems like he popped up every time after the scene happened or after something occurred. He was there. He was here when that happened, the carnival or the festival, whatever. And I didn't catch what Emma caught kind of right away when she was like, "Well, that's the words the killer said." But and he kind of just, all right, well, I'm caught. Like, okay, and end up killing Ethan, right, the other guy, for no
Oh,
reason.
yeah, that was his cousin Eli.
Eli.
Yeah, Eli. And I think
E-
specifically what Emma found out to figure out that he was the killer is when he looked back at Emma saying that you and Andre could be happy again, something to that extent. And then Emma said, "Wait a minute, the killer in one of the phone calls said that you'll never be happy again," sort of thing, in the same tone, or I guess whatever that she caught from what he said or how he said. Either way, and that's where the light bulb went off for her, like holy crap moment, and realizing he is the one. And or yeah, I'm sure you're pretty sure Kieran was my number one suspect from the get go episode. Well, technically from the get go of the get goes, being the premiere of episode one, season one, going with Kieran for the first couple of episodes, just because, to be quite honest, I didn't really have a true reason with those first episodes. But then, as it went more and more there in the first season, I developed a true reasoning of why I thought he was the killer for that season, and then continued it on here in season two with the thinking of even what you were saying, that he is always there at the right time. He's always not only there at the right time, but just being there when you think when Emma needs someone, and Emma being so trusting and telling him so much, and every time she does that, I'm cringing here watching, going, "Hey, he's the killer. You're giving him too much information." I feeling that he was it just because of those reasons. But I think mainly was because, like you said, with him being there, was at the right time or at the time in general. So, um, yeah, I just wanted to share that as well, so you can continue on anything else you wanted to jump into and divulge or get your thoughts on that had to do with this episode.
Yeah, and then it was a little funny too when he called Emma. He was like, "Where are you at? You don't have to do this." And he kind of found her. She's like, "What are you doing here?" I forgot what he said. He said, "Your GPS was close enough." Just some like bull crap reason to keep going. So I did find that interesting too at first. What else? Okay, so That was interesting. The whole Brooke thing, it kind of got me a little emotional, a little sad because everybody else was kind of crying and everything. Oh my God, Brooke. Not Brooke, because her father went last week. And, maybe it'd be okay if she goes because her father's gone and maybe they can just cut that out. But no, I'm honestly, I'm glad she stuck around. But just to be Kieran, it's not really surprising, Steve. I can't say this killer was like, oh my God, we're shocked. We're surprised. I know they really made it seem like his cousin, I think you said Eli, was the killer for the past few weeks, being by the tree when him and mama put the note in the backyard and him being in that picture last year when he didn't tell, Kieran that he was in town and stuff like that. So they were still trying to play us like it was, Eli the whole time, even though it was Kieran the whole time. And it seems like he was trying to protect her the whole time. And it's just odd and crazy. And how Emma was fighting at the end her boyfriend, and she decided not to kill him. She said, "Well, you're gonna suffer in prison," which is the best way. And not just blowing his brains out. But I don't know why they went this route, but I guess I'm fine with it. It's just, and plus, I want the reveal to be more of a guy in the mask, in the suit or in the costume, right? And
Right.
then
Yeah,
taking it
you're taking the
off,
mask off to find out exactly.
not just him looking like Kieran and say, "Hey, I am the killer." Like what? Like no. Can you have the whole full costume on to have the excitement of when the mask comes off? That's something I thought they messed up on the end. That could have been better. Just the ending. I mean, the entire setting, revealing the actual killer for the entire season, was probably a letdown. Honestly, I would say it's a letdown. Just a lot of things they probably could have done differently. In this episode, to make us more excited, make more people talk about it. I mean, people were already talking. It's number one trending worldwide on Twitter. There's things, people are talking about and saying, but just overall, I thought they could have had a different feel to it. It could have been just as exciting as last season. I think last season, season one, and of course the last episode I'm referring to, the ending was it tops this one.
All right. Yeah, I agree because with how Piper was revealed and everything
Mhm.
for season one of the finale and the way how that went down, I definitely agree there. Now, with having to do with Eli and his reasoning, I kind of brought this up while you were trying to jump on, so I don't know if you heard this, but I'll reiterate it again. YouTube channel Frightflix. Again, Frightflix here on YouTube. He does episode of podcasts like we do, Jay, talking about each episode. And 2 episodes ago, on his channel, his podcast is called Killer Theories, I do believe. And 2 episodes ago, I think the title is Final Killer Theories and whatever. That's where he not only makes his predictions, but he explains the Eli situation and how he thinks what his role was in that. And I think he brings it up again in doing the overview of the next heavenly creatures as well. But I'm just bringing that up, Jay, if you're able to, and others that are watching, you're able to check that out um, on his YouTube channel because his reasoning is was spot on what happened. Eli was there to keep tabs on Kieran, really, make sure that he wasn't doing anything shady and everything. And in the end, he was right. And Kieran was the killer and everything. So I just wanted to give him a shout out again there. But what were your thoughts for the final 2 seasons? Not 2 seasons, two scenes. The final 2 scenes of this episode of the finale. The first one of Noah's monologue of everybody and everything, and kind of putting a bow into season two, and then this scene with Kieran getting the phone call from what the officer there was saying he was his lawyer, but was the killer. What were your thoughts with those two scenes?
Those look pretty cool. Well done. Just seeing Kieran in prison and everything. Like you said, to put the final bow and everything, I thought, the season was good. I'm not gonna say it was a bad season. Compared to season one, I thought season two overall episodes wise, can stand up to season one, if not be a better season, even just because I probably can't remember most of the season one episodes, but I do remember the ending of both shows right now, and that's how it was right now with the ending wise. And Steve, I don't know if you thought about it. I think you were trying to get into it. I probably just listened to the show when we were off. Just your feel of how everything ended, what they could have done better, or did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, yeah. I enjoyed this season.
Okay.
I think what they could have done better definitely was a reveal. I wasn't able to bring that up before he came on because you brought that up. But so the reveal could have been better. The season was good. I really hope that they can have a season three. The way that it ended, and I mentioned this earlier in the episode, that first when Kieran was found out to be the killer, and it was just him, himself, and him, I thought, oh dang, maybe we won't get a season three. There isn't an accomplice with Kieran, so that just means no one's gonna have his monologue, end the season in a bow, and really end the series and wrap it up in a bow. And then we get that final scene with Kieran in the phone call, and the killer with the killer voice saying, "Who said you could wear my mask?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" I almost had like a marked out moment, to be quite honest. There, thinking, "Oh my gosh, we might have this season three there." Because before then, I think there was a note or maybe a letter sent back to Maggie, Emma's mother, that was on the tree there, whether she communicated with Brandon James or did communicate to Brandon James in the past. Maybe whoever this original killer or next killer is just using that. That's part of a ploy, part of a scare tactic, whatever. Um, so with that, and continued with the Kieran scene there at the very end, and that really being like a cliffhanger, almost like a cliffhanger in the middle of the season of a mid-season finale, heading into the next batch of episodes to the season finale, sort of kind of episode, to be quite honest, in that way in the ending. So that got my hopes up that maybe we will get a season three, and I'll get your thoughts on that too. But overall, I enjoyed the season. I've obviously enjoyed the series, otherwise I wouldn't have done this podcast, and not in I wouldn't even want to continue it. But I really am a big fan of the show, as we both are. And if we are having a season three, we'll be back to do it again. But to the season three, and specifically to the season two, it was good. Um, Again, what they could have done better was the reveal here for season two, with maybe having him in a mask, maybe having him come out of the shadow and reveal it was him, and then tell his story. So maybe just doing that a little bit differently. Now I know that's nitpicking, but just honesty. That would be the one thing doing different. Um, and then maybe Eli surviving would have been nice, but maybe someone had to go here in the finale. But again, just nitpicking. But all in all, it's a good season. I know the ratings haven't been the greatest here leading up to the finale, but with that quote unquote teaser, with that ending of the season two, makes me think there will be a season three. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that with how that scene ended there with Kieran and the phone call and everything, that we will get a season three? Do you think that being a teaser, or do you think that was just again a way to wrap it in a bow and let your mind think of how it would have went moving forward?
I definitely agree. That to me, that's almost confirmation that we're going to get a season three. For us being fans of the show, Steve, it gets us excited to hear things like that. Just as as you mentioned to me last week, the ratings hasn't been where it's supposed to be, and we enjoy the show. So being on MTV and everything, whatnot. So that kind of tells me they're probably going to have plans to make a season three, which is going to be great. And as soon as we hear those rumors floating around the internet, we're going to be excited to mention it and be back to watch it and back to review it. But I do believe, if you have to ask me, that there will be a season three of MTV Scream.
And do you think if we do have a season three, it's just going to be as it has been continuation? Now I know from moving from season one to two, people were wondering who was American Horror Story. I don't know if you've ever seen that. To be quite honest, I never did. But from the reading of that show and people, other fans, other people of this fandom of this show, telling me about how American Horror Story from each season they have different casts and different situations. Do you think that now going to season three will have different casts, different story, or since seems like we are just continuing a story and continuing an arc, same cast, different scenarios kind of thing? Like, do you think we're just going to be continuing on, or do you think it's going to be in a different setting with different people?
Oh no, absolutely. I think it's going to stay the same. I think if they would have killed everybody or wrote them off somehow, if that was going to be the case, and just from seeing how season one ended and how season two began, like you just mentioned, how they kind of kept the same characters, progressing the same story, they're going to keep everything the same. Now, I am a huge fan of American Horror Stories, and I watched all the seasons on Netflix. I've seen season 4 live and season 5 on TV. So season 6 is coming up shortly, and we're all excited for that. But yeah, every season is like a different theme type of thing. and it's more of like, yeah, it's totally different. I don't know who would compare Scream to this, but because
Well, I
it's
don't. Like I said, I don't think they were comparing Scream to the show in general. I think they were just comparing or thinking that, when we got the confirmation there was a season two, they were just saying, oh, maybe it'll be like American Horror Story, where there's um, different stories, different casts for each season. I don't think they were actually comparing the two shows. You know what I mean? That they're just using that for when we were going into season two, that maybe they'll have a different cast, different situation. I think that's what they meant. I don't think they were actually legitimately comparing Scream to American Horror Story.
okay, very good. Well, yeah, because and plus on top of that, on American Horror Stories, they don't change too many characters. There's a few characters that's been there since the get go, and I don't know, they don't completely rearrange their whole casting staff in the next season. But there's been one, and everybody's disappointed because Lady Gaga took over from that point on. But so they have a few nits and bits, of course, because deaths happens almost every show. But your main characters like Emma, and then there's this one lady, I forgot her name. She's always on American Horror Story. She's like an Emma. She's not going away. So, but yeah, I'm excited because I believe I have high hopes for season three.
Who do you? I was trying to think, and I was trying to relay this to people. Who was Jay for yours? Who was your number one? Who was your pick last week for who you picked for the killer? I forgot. I thought it was. Um, no, I forget. Who was your pick for who you
I
thought?
have to see. I'm always backwards in mine, and I don't write it down, so I don't want to lie. But if I'm just tracking just by thinking,
Hmm.
uh, I think it was the cop guy.
Okay.
Um, what's his name? I forget his name already.
Yeah, I don't remember his name either.
Share. I mean, just the share.
The
Whatever.
sheriff.
So, yeah, he was my number one last week.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, because maybe I was wrong because I was thinking your number one was Emma's mother. Um,
He was at one point in time, yeah, and I changed it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it changed. Yeah, I just thought it continued. I thought yours was like mine, where you hitched to her forever, like I did with
Um,
Kieran.
yeah, you were so right, Steve. You get a round of applause for that.
I know I gave myself that earlier, a round of applause, but actually, um, well, actually, first I'm just gonna ask, yeah, any uh, any other thoughts on the episode, on the series, or anything else you wanted to discuss while we are here for the final time for the season?
I know it's sad. It's already over with. It went pretty quickly. I will hope maybe to add more episodes, right, Steve? It didn't feel like it was too. It was long enough. So maybe add some more episodes to the season three. Maybe some more deaths. I mean, I think we had a pretty, we had a good amount. It seems like season one was just so much thrill to it. I don't know what it was.
Hmm.
Um, and just it was just so much going on. So that's what I liked it. But final comments. I'll say bravo to the season. Good job to the staff. There was something that came on right after MTV, and I kind of was catching it for a few minutes before I realized, oh my god, I got to go to the show. Um, like a recap, and they were just getting, Eli, his comments on everything, and Audrey and Emma was there. It's like a sit down with the cast members. So I'll probably just catch that another time. But I say bravo to the guys. I'm glad to see everyone
Yep.
sticking around. That was for Steve. That wasn't for me. That was all for Steve. And for you, Steve, being the host of this show and getting it right. I mean, another round of applause for you.
Yay! It's always good to be right. I mean, I know I'm a two-time prediction champion. I found WWE. I'm kind of on a hot streak so far, and heading into SummerSlam, trying for a three-peat. So yeah, it's good to get this prediction right. But I wasn't the only one. Many others that were on the Kieran bandwagon from the episode for the start of the first season, let alone the start from this season. Um, I know a lot of people might be saying that, oh, it was too easy to be Kieran, and it should have been someone way out of the blue. Like for me, way out of the blue would have been Emma's father coming back and out of nowhere and him being revealed as the killer, or something like that, or even Brooke or Noah being revealed to be the killer. I know a lot of people were hoping for that, and me, kind of. I mean, as I even tweeted out, if I'm going to be wrong, I want it to be someone way out of left field that I wasn't even thinking about. That'll make my head spin and be like, "Oh my gosh, they got me! Good job, MTV." The claps and applauses are for you if that was the case. But in the end, it was Kieran. Great season, good season. Hopefully, season three does have more episodes because season one only had 10. Season two here only have 12. Slowly grow. Maybe next season 14, 16, 22. I don't know. Let's have a bunch more episodes if the cast wants to do it, of course. And MTV has the production assets and money to be able to create 20 episodes or 16 episodes. But if they're able to, which I would think so, it would be great. All of us in the fandom, whether it's people who are podcasting or just fans and watching each and every week on MTV and showing their love and support for it, we'll definitely appreciate it and definitely show that in viewership. I know, again, we were talking about earlier about viewership being down, but if you give us more episodes and for the episodes for other people, better quantity of the episodes, you'll reap the rewards. It's fan base watching and hearing more and not being too spoiled because sometimes with declining ratings, people then more and more go to the internet and check spoilers for episodes because they don't want to watch it anymore. So, but either way, great episode. You're always great to or was great and awesome to have Jay here, part of the show here for this season. And round
Yes, thank you guys. I appreciate that.
yes, round of applause for Jay, host of Talking WJ. And when we do have season three, I know I will. He might as well on his Twitter. Let you know of that. It will retweet MTV, retweet a cast member. However, the news breaks, you guys will definitely be in the know, and then we will let you all know when we start our episodic podcast again here in season three. One thing I like, Jay, and I know this is kind of random to say, but it kind of works out perfectly on how um, MTV Scream, where it starts and when it ends. Because I think it actually started in February, if I'm not mistaken, or something around there, and that was the end of the NFL season. And for me, doing an NFL podcast, doing that, and then here ending here right before the NFL season starts up again. So for me, it's perfectly for my break of the NFL, that whole span between the Super Bowl and week one of the regular season. Now I know week one of the NFL season isn't next week, but I know we're sort of getting there with the preseason games and stuff. So ironically for me, I guess in my um, life and podcasting, that works out perfectly with MTV Scream and my reviews to do that. So maybe MTV, if you're watching, do that again next season. And if you have more episodes and it bleeds into the NFL season, that's fine. I was just talking about championing for that. So just wanted to share that again. Thanks to Jay for being part of the show. Look forward to having him again next week. Jay, let people know where they can find you and what awesome things we have on the docket. Like, I don't know, tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow is our prediction show for SummerSlam this Sunday. So that's going to be fun. Just a panel of you guys getting your predictions, and like you said already on the show, you're looking for your three-peat, and that's three in a row. Retaining your predictions champion as you may. And if you get three in a row, no one's done that at least yet this year. So everybody's been kind of back to back with two. So if you get three, that's an accomplishment. Another round of applause for Steve. And then he got the screen prediction right with Kieran. So that's just going to be all great for Steve. Steve's going to have a great week if that happens. Like just a laid back week. So yeah, just catch us on our channel. You can go to youtube.com /talking WWJ. You can follow us on Twitter the same way. And then just go to our YouTube channel because we're live tomorrow evening for our prediction show. So that's going to be fun.
Yes, well, follow him again. I'm talking to you, just letter J. Stephen A. Also part of he's represents the Raw brand for the show. We kind of had our own brand split, so to speak, for the show. Follow him at Stephen A. 1181. Again, that is Stephen A. 1181. Also, welcome to follow another member of the Raw team, Matt of Matt's Madness at Matt's underscore Madness, and of course, follow me at W underscore podcast and Sebastian TSU on Twitter. He is part of our predictions each and every month, and starting next month we're going to be busy fellows with pay-per-views every 2 weeks, so two per month. It's going to be crazy, but awesome. I mean, we love what we do. So thanks everybody that watched live, that will be watching archive. Welcome to give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And as we leave with the champion, WWE World Heavyweight Champion music, Dean Ambrose, and the host here being a champion. And as always, take care.